And hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Now, I don't take great pride in delivering bad news, but it's part and parcel of supporting a football club. And again, this one is not gonna be something that, of course, a lot of Liverpool fans are happy with, because it feels like it's been coming, and it's kind of the same story with regard to a club that kind of happens time and time again with our targets and our prospects. Now, in today's video, we are going to be diving into this whilst also going over all of the latest Liverpool news from the last 24 hours. But first, please do hit the like button and hit the subscribe button for more. Konate. Yes, we provided you an update the other day, literally saying from David Ornstein that there had been no fresh progress on the contract renewal of Konate. Now, I've spoke very vocal here on this channel that I want Konate to stay, but all signs are now pointing towards an exit, and an in particular club are circling once again. We're going to get into that, but of course, Konate, I believe, especially when you've seen him against Newcastle, you can show how imperative he is. But I have a huge problem with the board at certain times, is that why do we find ourselves in this position time and time again, season after season, having some of our best players go right to the very end with their contract? Now, I know the club can't force players to, and players may have, the ambition to move on elsewhere and not sign their terms, but it just feels like we're the only club that has this every season with our best players. Last year, of course, we had the three that are out of contract, and we lost one of those to Real Madrid, that being Trent Alexander-Arnold. And we may just see the same happen with Konate. Yes, an update has come out. Now, just a few minutes ago, guys, via Real Madrid sources, and of course, Matteo Moretto is a very reputable source when it comes to Spanish transfer rumors and whatnot. And he came out with an update over the last sort of 5 minutes at the time of recording that Konate is now back as an option for Real Madrid. They have recently contacted him to ask about his situation again. Now, this isn't good news, because there's only one club that I really feel is bigger than Liverpool Football Club, and that's Real Madrid. Real Madrid, time and time again, we find them take our transfer targets. Jude Bellingham. We've seen Trent Alexander-Arnold run down his contract to go to Real Madrid. We've seen other situations with Real Madrid as well. Xabi Alonso, our top manager target after Jurgen klopp, going to Real Madrid. They're a club that constantly burns us, and they're also a club that don't like to spend money. And they pride themselves on using their aura to entice people to run down their contract and then sign for them. And that certainly looks like the case with Konate. And this would certainly answer a few questions that a lot of Liverpool fans would have. Firstly, that being, of course, that we signed Jeremy Jackett. Again, we've been said that this could potentially be a replacement for Konate. So that's number one. And then number two, of course, is why is Konate not signing? Where else is there better to go than Liverpool Football Club? Well, if he's clearly in contact with Real Madrid, then, well, that's probably why he's not wanting to sign a new deal, because Real Madrid is the lure, and this is what they do to players. So this does make a lot of sense. I'm not that surprised. Otherwise, I do think Konate would have signed new terms. I think Konate is a player that the club would have liked to sign down to really good terms and would have offered him a good contract, a competitive contract at that as well. But when Real Madrid are in the offing, you know how it kind of ends up. We've seen it with Trent Alexander-Arnold, we've seen it with Jude Bellingham, and now we could potentially see it with Konate. But do let me know your thoughts on this down there in the comments.
In other news, Curtis Jones's name being linked with a move away from Liverpool in January came as a genuine shock to many supporters, particularly when reports suggested Inter Milan were confident of securing his signature on a loan-to-buy deal worth around €40 million. While the proposed move never materialised, and Liverpool ultimately stood firm on keeping all senior players during the winter window, the episode has raised fresh questions about Jones's long-term future at Anfield. The speculation was fueled by the midfielder's contract situation, with Jones now entering the final 18 months of his current deal. In modern football, that timeline often triggers serious discussions behind the scenes, either about extending a player's stay or considering potential offers. For a homegrown talent so closely associated with the club, even the suggestion of negotiations with a European giant like Inter was enough to cause unease among supporters. Speaking ahead of Liverpool's clash with Manchester City, Arne Slot offered insight into the club's thinking when asked about Jones's role and importance. His response, notably referencing why we kept him, appeared to confirm that there had been internal deliberation over whether the midfielder should remain at the club. He's played a lot of minutes, not all of them, but I think he's also unlucky in the sense that it's probably the only line where we haven't had injuries, Slot explained. But still, he's played a lot of minutes. That's of course why we kept him as well, because we have in that line a lot of players, but we need these midfielders in different positions as well. And the moment you start to need midfielders in different positions, then the line in midfield gets smaller and smaller. So yeah, of course we kept him. His situation hasn't changed, to us. Slot's comments painted a picture of a squad stretched by injuries and tactical demands, where versatility has become increasingly valuable. With midfielders required to operate in multiple roles, depth quickly becomes fragile. In that context, allowing Jones to leave in January would have significantly weakened Liverpool's options. The Dutchman went on to emphasize the limited number of senior players currently available. He's one of the 16 outfield players we have available for the long term now, and also this moment in time with two really young players in Trey and Rio included. So it would be a bit strange if we would let anyone go if you only have 16 available. Rather than offering a definitive denial of transfer interest, Slot's words suggested that circumstances played a major role in keeping Jones at the club. Had Liverpool been dealing with fewer injuries and with greater squad depth, the club may well have been more open to considering a move. That impression was reinforced when Slot was asked directly about Jones's contract situation. "The moment we have any news, we share it over here," he said. "But I am aware the club is aware, and he is aware of the fact he has only 1.5 years left, so that's all I can say about it." It was a measured and cautious response, offering no indication of imminent progress on a new deal. While not alarming in isolation, it does underline that Jones's future remains unresolved and could become a key talking point as the summer approaches. From a supporter's perspective, the prospect of Jones leaving would be difficult to accept. Not only has he grown in importance on the pitch, showing greater maturity and consistency under Slot, but he also represents something increasingly rare in modern football. A local player who has risen through the academy to become a first-team regular. Jones is currently the only Scouser in Liverpool's senior squad, a link to the club's identity and traditions that resonates deeply with fans. He has previously spoken of his ambition to follow in the footsteps of Steven Gerrard and one day captain the club, a statement that further strengthened his bond with supporters. But that is all for today's video. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Liverpool content. We post all the latest Liverpool news every day, so join our fast-growing community so you never miss out. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video.